I describe myself, and I describe all of the lay leaders, and probably everybody at the Biennial, as Meshuggah of volunteers. That's what we are. But we volunteer because we love this movement, we love Reform Judaism.
The Union for Reform Judaism, 4 years after Steve's leadership, is stronger, it's broader, and it's deeper.
We began together. I was brand new, and Steve was brand new, and there were a lot of things that were new structures, new challenges, and what a gift it has been to serve with Steve.
And together we've watched the transformation of the Union, and it's largely due to you, to your efforts, to your guidance, to your leadership, to your compassion, and your true dedication to the Reform movement.
It was under Steve's leadership that we not only created our 2020 vision for the URJ, but we really had the deepest, most challenging conversations about how do we not only create a path forward, but how are we going to make hard decisions.
Steve has a great business mind, and he can cut through clutter like no one's business and get to the key strategic issue.
It's been the hand that we felt on our shoulder at Harlem, the words of encouragement that he's provided, and his genuine support of what we do, because he sees in his children and in his grandchildren, Josh and Sarah, the impact that Harlem can have.
He always supports me to go to Camp Harlem. It's the best camp ever. Nifty events, my Temple's youth group.
Steve is always happiest when he comes to the office just after he's finished a performance at the Kennedy Center or at Carnegie Hall with the choir he sings with in Washington. Choral singing is absolutely crucial to him. It makes him happy. It grounds him. It centers him.
So, I love how my grandpa is so musical. I think it's the coolest thing. He's the only person in my family that I can talk about music with. I'm a total music nerd around him. He gets it.
There were times when I said, Steve, can we do a meeting then? He goes, no, I have a rehearsal. We're singing at the Kennedy Center next Monday. We're singing this opera, and I love the music. I can't stop singing the music.
Steve knows what it means to be a part of a team. He sings in the bass section of a choir where you have to give yourself over to the conductor and blend perfectly with the other members of your section. He knows how to lead, and he knows how to be a part of a team.
I love my dad, and I'm so proud of him. He is one of my most favorite people in the entire universe. He always knows the right thing to say. He's so funny. He's so smart.
I am incredibly grateful for all Steve has done to prepare me for this next big adventure, and a little afraid that I can't possibly begin to fill his shoes. Thank you, Steve.
Steve, in your retirement down in D.C. when you're trying to figure out what to do, we've got a place for you at the rack.
Folks, it's hard for me to believe that it was almost 4 years ago when I stood before this group and became the URJ's chair. I vividly remember something that occurred shortly before then when we were searching for our new URJ president. Rabbi Eric Yaffe met with the search committee and told us what Rabbi Alex Schindler of blessed memory had told him when he became president. Rabbi Yaffe repeated that advice to Rabbi Jacobs. The advice: Rick, change everything. Little did I realize then how prophetic that comment would turn out to be. To be sure, in the last 4 years, we have not changed the fundamental values of our movement or our commitment to our congregations. We have also not changed our commitment to social justice, to Israel, and to the many other important values that underlie Reform Judaism. But there are times when I feel like we have changed just about everything else. What has been key to me during the last 4 years is that we have not engaged in this change just for the sake of change. Instead, we have undertaken a very purposeful and well-thought-out process led by Rabbi Jacobs in partnership with the lay and professional leaders at the URJ, our congregations, our movement partners. This process has resulted in our vision for 2020, which you will hear a lot about at this biennial. I am very, very proud to have been a part of that process. And I must tell you that it is that vision for 2020 that makes me very, very optimistic about the future of our congregations, the URJ, and our entire movement. First and foremost, we have an incredible leader in Rabbi Rick Jacobs. Absolutely. He has transformed our movement in so many ways, both profound and subtle. Having been with him in Israel, I have seen firsthand the respect that he is held in by Israeli leaders as he forcefully presses them for religious pluralism. I have seen him in North America, opposing the boycott and divestment movement, fighting for Israel, transforming the Conference of Presidents of major Jewish organizations, and representing our values of social justice in so many different areas. And most importantly, and even though it means that he spends a lot of his life on Delta Airlines, I have seen how he has brought the URJ and Reform Judaism on a direct personal level to the leaders and members of our congregations, to the kids in our camps, and to so many other leaders of the Jewish world across North America. And because Jewish values lie at the heart of everything he does, it is no accident that it was Rabbi Jacobs who first used the term audacious hospitality, which is far more than just a clever phrase, but is a beacon for welcoming interfaith families and so many others into our community. My optimism about our future is heightened because of the incredible staff that Rabbi Jacobs has assembled to work with him. I tell you that one of the great privileges of being chair is that I have had the opportunity to know and to work closely with so many of our staff, whether at the URJ, offices in our camps, at the RAC, or in all the other places where the staff is located. You all really need to know that we have a really amazing group of people who work long hours for the URJ and are completely dedicated to Reform Judaism and to the mission of this organization. I want you to join me in thanking them all for their work, and I want to thank them particularly for the way in which they have interacted with and supported the lay leadership of this organization. It is the continuing partnership of our staff with the lay leaders under our next chair, Darrell Messinger, that gives me tremendous grounds for optimism about the future. I'm also optimistic about the future as we look ahead because of our approach to strengthening congregations. Now, I don't have to tell anyone in this room about the challenges our congregations face. These challenges are often complex and difficult to resolve. The answer to these challenges is not for the URJ, or anyone for that matter, to simply send out an email or issue a pamphlet and presto, problem solved. We all know that there are no easy answers. Our vision for 2020 is based on the conclusion that we need to build on the strengths that we have both inside and outside our congregations and to work together so that we can learn, innovate, and experiment in order to find solutions that work. Thus, one objective of our vision for 2020 is for the URJ to serve as a catalyst to connect our congregations, to enable leaders at congregations to network and to learn, both from each other and from experts within and outside our movement. Our objective is to provide ways in which we can help our congregations innovate and then to spread the word about what is working. You will see and be able to experience a lot of what is going on in this area here in Orlando. I'm incredibly optimistic that the path we are now on will be of tremendous help as we work in partnership with our congregations and movement colleagues to test out and find answers to the challenges that confront our congregations. The changes underway in which our movement is striving to work together also gives me tremendous cause for optimism. You all know the Reform movement has many different organizations, each with different functions. What is important to me is that we are all placing a new emphasis on working together and leveraging our respective strengths. We are, for example, moving forward in a true spirit of partnership with Hebrew Union College Jewish Institute of Religion, an organization which is absolutely vital to the future of our movement because it educates our future professional leaders. Just one example of how we are working together says it all for me. Our URJ youth operations are now headquartered at HUC-JIR's New York campus, creating a center of Reform Judaism aimed at our young people. We see our partners at the Central Conference of American Rabbis and the American Conference of Cantors now managing the sacred text and the musical treasures of our movement that used to be managed by the URJ. We see a growing partnership with temple administrators and NADA, with our other affiliates. We see the Women of Reformed Judaism engaging in exciting programs and refashioning itself. We see a vibrant and growing reform movement in Israel. But let me tell you the most important reason why I view our Reformed Judaism future with such optimism. It comes from my own family. Our Jewish future rests with our young people. The URJ's campaign for youth engagement is intended to give as many of our young people as we can the underpinning to build a Jewish identity for the rest of their lives. Now, I will tell you, I'm completely impartial when it comes to the subject of my grandchildren, Sarah and Josh. I'm not biased at all. But I should point out to you that these two wonderful young people, as you have seen, have attended URJ Camp Harlem for many years, are active in their youth group at Congregation Or Chadash, and have begun to participate in the activities of NIFTY. All you need to see is the impact of these incredible programs on my two grandkids to see why we have a great Jewish future ahead of us. The same is true with our approach to audacious hospitality. My daughter Jamie and her husband Nima are an interfaith couple who have experienced firsthand the audacious hospitality of our movement. My daughter Jamie was brought up in our movement. Among other things, she was part of a group that founded a Reformed temple in her community. But you only have to see the aid and support my son-in-law Nima gave to my daughter as she founded a congregation, or his support for the Jewish upbringing of his children, to recognize, as Rabbi Yaffe once said, that the true heroes of our interfaith work are the people we do not honor enough, the non-Jewish partners of Jewish spouses. The look of pride and joy on my son-in-law's face as his two children became bar and bat mitzvah shows me why audacious hospitality is so important and why I have such confidence in our future. So I look forward to our URJ future with great optimism and hope. Allow me now 2 personal comments. First, I've been privileged over the last 4 years to have worked with an incredible group of lay leaders. We've spent long hours working for our movement, and I'm sure there are days when we all wonder, like all of you volunteers in this room, why on God's name do we do this? But we know why we do it. We do it because it is meaningful and important work for a movement whose values we deeply believe in. I want to thank all of the lay leaders that I have worked closely with in the last 4 years. We have been on the phone and in meetings day in and day out dealing with issues, answering questions, and working with our staff to come up with solutions. I simply could not have done this job without the support, assistance, encouragement, and friendship of so many lay leaders, and I want to say thank you to all of you. Second, the job of URJ chair is a full-time job, 24/6, as Rabbi Jacobs likes to say. It obviously has a significant impact on family life. My incredible wife and partner, Helene, has been there with me every step of the way, always supportive and helping. What many of you may not know is that Helene was an executive director of a synagogue, so she knows congregations in a very unique way. As a result, Helene has not only been my partner and supporter over the last 4 years, she has been an incredible advisor on the tough issues that I have faced. But I now must make a public confession. Just about every time I have disregarded Helene's advice in the last 4 years, I have been proven wrong. You would think after 5,000 years of history, a Jewish man would know that. So let me conclude by saying thanks to all of you for giving me the incredible privilege of being the chair of the board of this great organization. I am so looking forward to the years ahead. Thank you.
Please welcome the President of the American Conference of Cantors, Mark Goldman.
Good evening. It gives me a great deal of honor and pleasure on behalf of the American Conference of Cantors to recognize our friend and partner, Steve Saxs. Steve's unwavering support of the American Conference of Cantors has helped us to become the largest professional organization of cantors in the world, serving close to 1 million members of our community. Through Steve's support, the American Conference of Cantors successfully acquired Transcontinental Music Publications, the largest publisher of Jewish music in the world. And through Steve and Rabbi Jacob's inspired leadership, we are responding to the call of strengthening congregations with the creation of a formal program that will provide meaningful and substantive vehicles for every member of our movement to interact with ACC cantors. Steve, the following piece, based on a prayer your wife Helene confided was your favorite text, commissioned by the ACC in your honor, composed by cantor Marshall Portnoy, with solos by cantors Laura Crowan, Lisa Levine, Susan Cara, and Claire Franco, is a token of the respect, admiration, and high regard we hold for you. L'Ador Vador, remembering and celebrating all you have brought to our people.